Hi guys, my name is Kadewere. I'm going to be your computer science project online tutor. So in these computer science project tutorials, you'll be learning almost everything you need to know to successfully create a complete project. Today's agenda is to explore section A of the project, which is the initial stage called investigation and analysis. Before we begin, my assumptions are that you are familiar with Microsoft Office packages and you also know your O-level computer science syllabus requirements, especially the project guide section. You are going to need a project idea, something like a library management system, a parking lot management system, school timetable generator, and so on. Under normal circumstances, this project idea should have been already approved by your teacher. Anyway, we are going to use one project idea in our sample project, which is a Form 1 enrollment management system for a secondary school. Here is a quick preview of what we are going to be looking at under section A: background analysis, investigation of the current system, research instruments, description of the current system, evaluation of existing solution, requirements specification, then aims and objectives. Section A: selection, investigation, and analysis. This part is as good as an introduction. We should see the name of the system here, the organization you want to design the system for, and any other important details, e.g. location, when was the organization established, who owns it, population size, and so on. Moving on to background analysis, this part should clearly explain when the problem you're trying to solve started and possible reasons. Problem definition should have at least 4 marking points. Moving on to investigation of the current system, here we are looking at research instruments like questionnaires, record inspection, interviews, and observation. As you can see, there are so many instruments to use here, but with questionnaires and interviews, you can easily present the evidence that the research has been done. Don't forget to give reasons why you chose instruments used here. The actual questionnaire should start on a fresh page so that we can easily print the pages and give them to system users without any irrelevant information inscribed. A proper introduction is required so that they know who you are and why you need to know what you're asking about them and their organization. Keep it short and to the point. Your questions should be mainly focused on the system. Each instrument used here carries 1 mark. So make sure you put at least 2 instruments here, but with no responses. You also need to write down what you will read for the interviewee so that you stick to the point. Again, your interview guide should be on a fresh page for the same reasons provided above. And there should be no responses yet. It should be blank. Moving on to broad description of the existing system. You should be able to describe the problem you're trying to solve clearly, giving inputs, processes, output, and storage. Interview and questionnaire responses should agree with what is written here. Moving on to evaluation of existing solution. Here we'll be looking at weaknesses and strengths of the existing solution. Weaknesses means disadvantage, and strengths means advantage. The weaknesses of the existing system will help us create a better system than what is already there. You should, however, try to retain the strengths in your proposed solution. More weaknesses than strengths will show that you have an idea of what you are talking about. Moving on to requirements specification. This part constitutes what is required for the new system to come to life. So an assessment is done to determine what is on the ground and what needs to be bought. Any variations of this format are acceptable, but keep it simple and meaningful. Moving on to aims and objectives. The primary focus of your project is usually presented in terms of aims and objectives, which is why I'll take my time here. Many students find it difficult to understand the difference between aims and objectives. However, in the academic context, there is a clear distinction between these terms. Aim means what you hope to achieve. Objective means the action or actions you will take in order to achieve the aim. Aims are statements of intent. They are usually written in broad terms. They set out what you hope to achieve at the end of the project. Objectives, on the other hand, should be specific statements that define measurable outcomes, e.g., what steps will be taken to achieve the desired outcome. Objectives should also be SMART. SMART is an abbreviation for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time constrained. Examples of bad objectives: to computerize their current manual system. This sounds like an aim because it is an intent. It lacks steps required to achieve this goal. Another bad objective is to speed up the enrollment process. Again, I don't see how the developer intends to achieve this. No steps given here. Another bad objective, to increase sales. The big question is how? Now, if you use verbs like add, update, generate, collect, construct, classify, develop, measure in your objectives, you find that they will begin to sound less like aims. Now, carefully study objectives given in this sample project to get a better understanding of how to structure your objectives. Moving on to evidence of research. Here we are looking at examples of filled-in questionnaires, interviews with respondent answers, sample documents, and write-up on observation. During the investigation section, we created a questionnaire and an interview guide for system users to respond. Now we want to see if the investigation has been actually done. These documents are not attached here, but rather in appendix. Thanks for watching. That's it for now. See you next time.